everybody, and welcome to another Just Enough Heshy show. My Instagram fans, welcome to the show, YouTube and Facebook. And soon we'll have the live radio audience in about 5 minutes. We're going to discuss, of course, the Harris campaign and her presidency. We're going to discuss a lot of stuff in New York. Something very interesting happened, how they finally arrested somebody who wears masks. And we're going to talk about the dire situation that in 70 more days, we're going to have a new president. No matter what, it's a new president. President Trump was president, but he will be, again, the new president because he was not. And, of course, we have Harris, who's vice president, who really is president now, and I don't even know what she's doing. And we'll hear her stories. Do we need a debate? Don't we need a debate? Do we know what they're doing? I really am more interested in the vice presidential debate because if anything does happen to Trump, and they are going after him, we got to be worried about J.D. Vance. Is he any good? He's a young guy. Can he handle the job being so young and inexperienced, or is he experienced enough? This governor or whatever his name is, is he so pro-Arab and Palestinians that he'll hurt the Jews? He'll hurt America? I mean, the Harris people let the Palestinians doing whatever they want. I mean, we're lost. We're lost. Hey, Michael Smith, how are you? Welcome to the show. But I want you to know something. We have to be smart enough to think. Everybody keeps telling me, Heshy, you're running for office. You have to think about the future. Think about the children. I'm sorry. Why not think about now? I'm running now to fix the problems. I'm running now to show you what's going on. Yes, I'm running. I'm running to change New York City and America today. You know, when I was in Israel, they all tell me, why aren't you wearing the Israeli flag? I'm an American citizen. I love Israel. I love England. I'm dying to go to Paris, even though there are a bunch of idiots over there in France. I want to see the Louvre. I want to see the Eiffel Tower. I love the world. We are human beings. We've come so far in every single country. But what I don't understand is that you all want to worry about the future when we can't get to the future if we don't fix what we have right now. That's basic simple. I'm going to give you a quote today that is very serious, that I thought in my brain that is something that addresses my issue. As you know, that I'm making a wedding next week for my son, Yaakov. You're all invited to the Sands. I keep inviting you, and this weekend we have a big family dinner with guests coming Friday night. Then we have a whole synagogue is going to come to a special little, like a little luncheon thing as well. So I have like 2 lunches, and I have a lot of guests I have to put all over. Of course, I'm worried about my son's future. Of course, it took me a long time to get him here. When they were born, I was worried about their future, worried about how I was going to take care of them, worried about what I'm going to do with them. But I had to think of the day and how to get them through school. You know, 80% of the time you spend with your children is of their life is when they're under 12. After that, of course, you spend time with them through your lifetime. But when they're under 12, that's when they're always home or asking questions or when they need you. And that's when you give them their logic, their common sense, their honorability of the future. But you teach them who they are now so they can grow into men and women. You're thinking of getting lucky in the future. You know, people ask me so many times, Heshy, why do you have good kids? You're crazy. You're nuts. You scream and holler. I'm not. I handle serious budgets. I handle people that argue every single day with each other. I go through police. I help people in jail. I go visit the jails. I'm dealing with issues, and I teach my children how to deal with these issues. How I dealt with it, maybe they don't want to deal with it the same way, screaming, hollering, protesting. You know, a lot of I'm going to tell you in a few moments, but the Republican Party keeps switching sides. They're going to back me. They're not going to back me. Not that I care, because I'm going to go win this election. I've learned how to do it. If the people want a change now, you will vote for me. I'm not pitching anything. But I told the Republican people, don't come into my community now. You're backstabbers. You're helping the Democrats because they give you money. You know, there's a politician in Las Vegas that killed somebody, killed a reporter. Why did he kill him? Because the guy was exposing him for all the corruption. Most of these politicians are corrupt, and a lot of my friends say, Heshy, what stops you from turning corrupt? Because I have a sense of honor. I was instilled by my parents, who are Holocaust survivors, to do the right thing, and I did the same thing for my children when they run a business, how to do it correctly. I want to welcome the the listeners of WSNR 620 AM. We were ongoing. You never listen to the music because you're 5 minutes late into the show. I want to invite WNEW 93.5 FM HD3, their listeners, and the listeners down in Florida, WPVID. Welcome to the show. Let's see if there's any more YouTube people who are joining our show. But as I was saying before, today is the day we fix our problems. You're so worried about our future. You're so worried about what changes we're going to make. You know, Vice President Harris is telling us of all the problems that she has that she's going to fix. You've been in office for 4 years. Why didn't you fix it till now? Why aren't you fixing it today? What are you telling us what you're going to do in the future? They saw Harris, a couple of her videos with Bernie Sanders with the border wall. I understand. Do you want the border wall? Don't you want the border wall? Are you going to open up the borders? Are you taking credit now for Trump's borders? Hypocrites, the Democrat. And you know, that DNC, my partner was telling me, oh, Heshy, did you see how many people came to the DNC, to the Democratic National Convention? People want to go to a party. People go, oh, you know how hard it is to get into that? I saw a video of a guy who had an illegal immigrant who got in here without any ID, but to get into this convention, you need ID. To get into certain buildings, you need ID. But to get into the country, you don't need ID. To vote, you don't need ID. Now, I was telling him the convention is like a party. Same thing with Republican. People pay lots of money of their own money to get in there. Even though you don't like Harris, you know that if you see Vice President Harris, you're going to run over to her and you're going to ask for her autograph if you can get to her. Everybody likes a star. Of course, I will scream at Cuomo and whatever the other idiot's name, de Blasio. But and Andrew Cuomo actually thinks he's going to come into my community in Borough Park and think he's going to campaign. I'm not going to let it. If I find out he's here and he's not and he's in the street talking, I'm not going to let him. I'm not a big shot or a bully. Here's a man who shut down my community, talked bad about my community, put us in hell, and you're going to come here and try to get our votes? And yeah, there's a lot of people that want it. You know, there's an organization called the JCC, Jewish Community Center. They take lots of money for programs, and this guy, Ezra Friedlander, a lobbyist, always supports them because he's making money. They're making money. Are they really taking care of the community? And now you're bringing back Cuomo because he might throw money their way, but not to us little people. Not to the people that need it, not to the special needs children that we go to court for and fight for, and then the money doesn't show up for 5 years. So the parents have to lay out this money or get it somewhere. Our city is so full of red tape and politics that it is lost. We need to fix it. You know, my supposed future opponent, Simcha Felder, which they all say now is all my opponents. Right now, there's nobody running against me in the city council race. But they say everybody's going to jump into the race after the Jewish holidays, somewhere late October or after the election in November. Because ours is a special election. Let me remind you, it's going to be a special election. And my councilman should have already vacated his seat because he should be taking over the new seat. Instead, he's holding it to see who can run against me. And this guy has done nothing in the last 4 or 5 years. He's 66, 67 years old. He's not doing well. As you can see, I'm in health. I go to the doctor. I'm constantly running. I don't plan on working past 67, 68. I plan on doing my time and walking away, hoping that I fixed everything. I'm not playing here games to get my retirement. This guy doesn't even go to Albany anymore. Now you're going to put him in a city council seat where you have to be more busier? If he doesn't do his job in Albany, what changes his job here in city council? He was here in city council and he left early. And this is who's going to campaign against me. This is the people that you're even thinking of voting for. Same way with Trump and Harris. Here's a lady that was in office for the last 4 years. What has she done? Really, tell me what she's done. Then I can maybe stick up for her. Oh, you're all screaming, exciting, because you want a Democrat and a Republican? Look what Trump did. He took RFK, Tulsi Gabbard. They're going to be part of his transition team. He's bringing Democrats. I hope that President Trump is smart this time and fires everybody. Fire the head of the FBI. Fire the head of the CIA. Fire the head of the Secret Service. This new guy in the Secret Service is really part of the old problem. Go right across the board. The general of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, get rid of him. Get rid of this Powell guy once and for all. He's really messing up the economy. I mean, he's raising our interest rates. Inflation is high. Inflation is low. Unemployment, 8%, 7%. This guy has no idea. He's just messing with us. And now I hear that COVID, more shots. And I want to tell you something, my dear friends. COVID killed people. COVID did not kill people because of the disease. Is we didn't take care of them or they gave us the vaccine shot. I met a family the other day that told me that, and he was a young guy. He was 74 years old, 75 years old. He died in the nursing home. He wasn't doing well. And the nursing home said, everybody has to get a shot. But he's in rehab, and he doesn't want to take the shot. And he's inside, so where your place should be clean and safe. You're not letting anybody in to visit anyways, so what's the problem? They said if he doesn't have the shot, they throw him out. He took the shot. 3 weeks later, he died. Not everybody's body or system can handle this. People know their bodies. People know when they get sick. People know that each one has different things. They murdered lots of our people. I know for a fact I saw people laying there on gurneys for 2 days. My own daughter-in-law with a trigger in her throat with no medicine. We had to sneak her medicine. We had to bring her home. Anyways, I'm going to first I want to give a shout out to my beautiful granddaughter Mira Nava, and of course Layla Tamar, and of course Ahuva, my beautiful granddaughter, and Benjamin Hillel, and my favorite and oldest grandson Yeshua. How are you guys? Sergeant Peter, you know we love you, and of course Ellie, wherever you are, you know I always shout out to you. We have so much red tape. Like right now, I'm helping a guy get out of jail who's been there, did his time, did something bad. He's done his time. They're holding him back because he doesn't have proper addresses or place to go, so they need some people to help him in the community. Now, it's your job that you rehabbed him. You have him locked up for 15, 20, or 18 years or 10 years to help him transition back into society. But they're not. They're saying, well, if you don't have anybody on the outside, you can't go home. I never heard that before. You did your time, you go home. You did your time, you go home. Anyways, I hope somebody laughs at my joke. I know it's not going to be that great, but first I'm going to give you my quote. I didn't even do the joke yet. I don't know how you make everybody laugh when I did do the joke. Finally, he plays the laugh track. Wow. Anyways, here's my quote, and it's not funny. You will face many defeats in life, but never let yourself be defeated. I'm not telling you that failure helps you get. People says you must fail and you're going to get better. You'll learn from your failures. No, I practice before I fail. I try not to fail. I have a team around me that I've built to teach me how not to fail. We go through each project. We practice each project. And when it comes back to me, I'm not happy, I send it back around again. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I have a pretty good track record. The objective is, of course, you're going to fail and you should learn from your failures. But never let your failures knock you down. Don't even remember them. Try not to fail, but of course we all fail. Nobody's perfect. Nobody can win every game. Nobody can win every poker hand or whatever it is. Nobody can always go through the whole year without getting sick. I got that. Nobody's perfect. God is, and God created us. Of course, He wanted us to learn from our mistakes, but He wants us not to make them if we don't have to. That's why we go to school. That's why we have parents to teach us. And when we don't have parents and we only have the one family, nuclear family, the mother, the single mother, it's hard. I know. I was raised by a single mother. I did have a father and mother till I was 13 and my brother 12, 11. So we did learn a lot from our parents. We were able to understand. When you're like 10, 11 years old, you're able to understand. Anyways, here's my joke. When I was younger, I was working in a fish store and selling little goldfishes and guppies and stuff like that. So somebody came into the store and I said, hey, today's your lucky day. We have a special offer. Buy one, get one free. Buy a fish, get a second fish free. So the customer says, no, thanks, I don't need two. I said, then just get one and give it to a friend. He says, I don't have any friends. I says, then go out and make one and give them the free one. That was funny. Now you can play the laugh track. Hello? No? He's not paying attention. I thought that was funny. Call into the show, 646-974-1580 if you want. I know we get a lot of prank calls, so the producer doesn't let it go through. 646-974-1580. James Green, welcome, Shadow. Did you find out who had aptitude with the machine gun? I don't know what that means. All I know is that when I was in Israel, I did see Gaza a little bit. I want to tell you, I want to start the show a little bit on my Israel trip and Gaza. Gaza is a paradise. You people don't even know that. Gorgeous, beautiful beaches. Israel gave them greenhouses. They had enough food and enough preparation and enough tools to have the greatest life and to have so much money coming in. The Gazan people, the people in Gaza of Palestine, are pampered, the most pampered people in the world, getting billions and billions and billions of dollars from everywhere. And they let Hamas steal it, build tunnels. Billionaire leaders. There's no excuse. You're blaming Israel for the war. There was a girl now, she was in Yeshiva University. She was captured for like 55 days, and she was moved from her apartment to a tunnel. Now, what they did to these people, recently another hostage just got released, an Arab Bedouin. He says that the hostages that he was with died, killed. There's 105 hostages left, and we know 36 of them are confirmed dead. And still Hamas won't make a deal. They won't release them. Every time we get to a deal, because we know the truth. We know what's going on. These people in Gaza blew it. You don't get 20 different shots. You don't get 20 different chances. They're trying to call. Please pick up the phone. Who is it? Somebody's trying to call. Why isn't my producer picking up the phone? I have no idea. He's purposely, I think, not taking calls. Please pick up the phone. Don't make me throw something at the door. My point to you is very simple. The people in Gaza, sometimes you don't want to be helped. You want to be pampered and given. I don't want to be pampered and given. The migrants are getting $18,000 a month. You know what that is? That's a $200,000 salary. I don't know. We let people get away with it. Benny, Beryl, hello. Thank you. Oh, yes. So I'm making this wedding for my son. This weekend is the big thing. Next weekend, September 5th, we have the big wedding at the Sands. I'm hoping the weather's good because the ceremony will be on the beach, all night sushi bar. That's what I like, sushi. And of course, we'll have a regular meal. I don't know, my son's future in-laws pick some fancy food. I'm sure I won't be able to eat it, but that doesn't make a difference. You're all welcome to come. Papa and the Tishler tables have no seating. The other side has seating. My hand's no seating. Pick a seat and sit down and enjoy yourself. I want to tell you, you always say, Heshy, you talk about the red tape. We know the system, or if we know what to do. The DOB, Department of Buildings, just one of them that I'm always fighting against. Now, I'm going to take a call in a moment. The DOB, they can stop your job, punish you, fine you, get you. But when you file the paperwork and you go through the red tape and you file the motions, till they enter it in, it could take another month while you're losing money. And you need guys like me, which you shouldn't even have to pay me, to do a simple thing to enter it in the system. Let's take that call. Who's on the phone? Hello? I don't hear nobody. Hello? You're on the air with Heshy. That's it. I'm the only one here today. Anybody on the phone? I can't hear nobody. No. Our producer doesn't know what he's doing. There's nobody on the phone. He's laughing. Well, the one call you get, he blows it. The red tape, not only with the Department of Finance. We have cameras all over town. Cameras, speed cameras, red light cameras. Do you know now we have noise cameras? A Lamborghini got a noise camera. Now, it was legally allowed into the country. He made no changes on his car. And now he has a noise camera. A noise $800 noise ticket on a car that's legally and follows all the laws. They actually have a camera in the noise. When so many cars are driving by, people are screaming on the street, this camera is able to detect a car noise. Come on, man. And here's another thing. They tell you, you dumbbells, listen to them, that you should call 311 on anybody else. Call if somebody double parks his car, if he's idling your car. So now the mayor has a new thing. If you see rats, call 311. And we'll come fix it for you. It is not true. There's a 91-year-old woman. Her name is Esther. She saw rats popping out on the street and by the sewer. So she called 311, made 2 complaints. When the city came down, they said to her, you're responsible, and they gave her $300 fines. Why? Because the city tree, which is on city property, even though we're responsible for that sidewalk, it broke open, and the rats were coming through there. She not only got $600 in fines, she had to hire an exterminator for $1,200 to kill those rats. Rats that the city has them coming up from the sewer, coming up from the subways. They're not taking care of it properly, and they're punishing and fining us. So go ahead, call 311. Go ahead, rat on your neighbor. You'll get it. Call on yourself. That's what this city's up to. Ratting and calling on each other and torturing one another instead of helping one another. People say to me, Heshy, again, why do you have good kids? Because I teach them to do good. And God rewarded me with good children because I taught them to be honorable. And I'm honorable in the best ways I can. And yes, I make mistakes and mess up, but I try my best to do the right thing. And God rewarded me with beautiful children. And my last son, Yaakov, has this beautiful new wife in 10 days? And I can't wait. I'm excited for the wedding. And yes, I got him a limo. I got him a new suit. I got a new suit. I'll tell you why. I just got I wasn't going to buy one. I'm a little cheap. But Linda gave me the money for a new suit because I just got under 241 pounds. I hope I can hold out to it. I really wanted to get down to 235, so I'm fine.
Hello?
I hear somebody on the phone. Hello, who's calling?
Oh, yes. Hello, Heshy. I don't know why. I feel it's Mama's show hard to get through to you.
I know. My producer, I think, is hard of hearing or hard of seeing. I don't know. Maybe he can't see the screen. How are you? Who's calling?
Ray. How are you? My name is Toby. I live in Borough Park.
How are you, my friend? What's up?
Baruch Hashem, I've been a very big fan of yours for a while. I listen a lot, but I believe it's my first time ever calling in. I'll tell you, my son's Rosh Hashiva is telling all the kids, the parents, to do something else what we feel is the right thing. And I want to know what we're supposed to do. I don't want them to kick my bachurim out.
I know. And, I've had the same issue myself. A lot of times I tell my son to do one thing, and then when they were growing up, and they said, well, the yeshiva said this, the rabbi said this, the teacher said this. And when you go argue with them or you walk in there, they say, well, if you don't follow the rules, we'll throw them out. But your rules are wrong. I understand it. A parent is always right. Their spirituality, their religious teachings, that's what you teach them. But even so, what we've been taught in our house, how to run our religion, how to run our spirituality. Yes, we put them in a special yeshiva, so we've got to follow their religious rules. But when they tell you not to listen to the parents, or they tell you to go to a special school or run away from home, you're right. I don't know how to fight these schools. In my particular case, I went to the school. I actually sued one of my son's yeshivas when they started to do something stupid and crazy. They have, for example, one of my sons, he got a 90 average, a little bit higher than which put him on the...
No, but Heshy, you don't understand. We're a group of 10 parents, okay? And they're all telling us to vote for your opponent. I don't even want to say his name.
I know that. I know that. And that's my problem. I don't even understand what the yeshivas are getting involved. And I have no problem. It's not the yeshiva that's getting the money. It is some of these guys in the top. If you notice, your yeshiva bills are going up. Your services are not getting better. They are scared because I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to make sure that if you get the money, you're going to spend it correctly. Like the JCC. I don't like what they're doing with the money. I don't like that.
Heshy, this is Bar Park. This is Rabbi Steinwurzel in Bar Park.
I know. I heard about that. The guy on 12th Avenue and 54th Street. When they needed me and they have an issue, I heard about that. He's telling them to vote for Simcha Felder. I don't even know why. I think he's getting a grant. Simcha Felder never did grants. Now all of a sudden he's doing grants for people. See, a lot of the rabbis and teachers in different schools, and again, I don't mind that they endorse another candidate, but at least endorse them for the right reasons. This guy has done nothing, and thank you for your call. And I don't know what to tell you. They're trying to influence you, and they're going to make you give donations to this guy, which is illegal. You know what I mean? You have to donate out of your own self. They're going to say to you, hey, give $100 donation, you can take it off your tuition. That is illegal. There's no possible way that Simcha Felder is going to be able to collect 75 donations from November to January and pass campaign finance. I had 211 donations. Most of them, like over 100 or something, were in the district to get the matching funds. They keep knocking me off that their dress doesn't match or he wrote a wrong letter, and we keep fighting with it. We've qualified because I keep getting more donations. And I go one at a time. I go to speaking events. These guys have done nothing of that. And the yeshivas or the schools are going to say, give $10, $20, let him have the matching funds, and then he's going to go out and collect the big money from his friends. This is what they do wrong, and we can't stop them. The red tape and the politics is wrong. It's the people that have to vote. You know, the presidency is the only job in the United States where the entire country gets to choose their leader. That's why the president is allowed to do what he wants, is immune. And what do? We even go to the Supreme Court, spend millions of dollars. And what does this guy, this idiot prosecutor do? He now finds, since their law says immunity for the president or a sitting president, he now puts in an indictment for a candidate. He's changing the rules. He's changing how to prosecute. We have people who are murdering people, raping. We have gangs out there with guns. We have drug dealers, people smuggling it in. You're busy with the president. Those tens of millions of dollars that you're spending on this indictment, they re-indicted President Trump. Just on a different way of wording it. I mean, we won. He got it dismissed, whatever the way he did it. You can't keep coming. Hey, Alex, how you do? Donald Trump's new federal indictment I'm hoping will be overturned. This special counsel Jack Smith, I don't know how he did it. I don't know. He's not qualified. He's not approved. If President Trump wins, and I'm saying when really, he's going to fire them and it's all over. So why did they indict right now? You know, the DOJ doesn't indict or do anything crazy 60 days or less. Why? Because then you are doing election interfering. So what they did was they created this indictment now. Alton Bryce, how are you? They created this indictment now. Why did they do it now? Because 70 days before, this way that if President Trump loses, hey, the indictment goes on. They'll figure out a way to go through the whole motions and get him in the future. And if they wouldn't have done it, he would have become president. They had no chance to even create this indictment because they know they'd be fired. So they did it now to see when he becomes president to still give him a hard time, even though the president could wipe it out, and I hope he does. Again, a game, wasting of our time, wasting of our resources, wasting of our precious time, and the news channels just trying to brainwash us. It's just crazy, and we allow it. Like this Rabbi Steinwurzel, whatever it is. This is a little nobody of a pipsqueak of a man. A man who thinks that he is somebody important, and he's supposed to be spiritually guiding us. Instead, he's going to pick somebody who has done nothing for our community. In the last 5 years, I'm not knocking my opponent. He's done nothing. He doesn't even go to Albany anymore. And now you're going to vote for him. I want to know the reason why. Why is he voting for him against me? Did I do something bad? Did I not serve the community? Do I not take in children? Do I not serve? Did I not open the parks? Do I not fight during COVID? Do I not help people out of jail? Tell me what I've done wrong. I can tell you that Harris has done nothing against Trump. She's the border czar, and she's done nothing. She doesn't even go down there. Does she stop protests across this country where the protesters beat up the police? You're letting people protest? You're letting people say death to America? Finally, in Long Island, they arrested somebody wearing a mask and all black, and they saw something bulging in his body. And what did they find? A knife on him. He was going to commit a crime. No more masks. That was a stupid idea completely. And we figured it out. And here's the best part. Mark Zuckerberg, the CEO, the president, the boss of Facebook, said, I'm going to quote his words, that officials, senior Biden administration pressured Facebook to censor COVID-19 content during the pandemic and vowed that the social media giant would push back if it faced such demands again. Now understand, you gave in to bullying. You gave in to blackmail. Facebook is just terrible. I'm a Facebook member. I have Facebook fans and people watching. You allowed them to bully us. You took the bullying and you spread it across hundreds of millions of your constituents. You put red symbols around us with COVID. You took away some of our content when we fought the COVID issues. We have a right too. The Palestinians are not the only ones that can protest. Instead, now you're sorry. Now you're sorry. This is what the Biden administration did. They sequestered you. They took away your simple rights. You know, people were telling me that they heard about my incident at the airport when I came home last week, that I wouldn't show them my ID. I showed them my passport. I did the rules. He was just a bully. And my civil rights allowed me not to show him certain things. I don't have to show you my driver's license. Here's my passport. I went through a whole process to get the passport and to get your stupid waivers to go through customs. I did everything the right way. You were just a bully. Bullies need to be knocked down. The problem is not everybody can fight a bully. So I have to act in a bully way to fight back. I'm not scared of them. I'm not scared of going to jail. My wife asked me not to go to jail with my future daughter-in-law right before the wedding, so I'm not going to do it. But again, here's the deal. Is the Republican Party different than the Democratic Party? The answer is no. Both a bunch of idiots. My own Republican Party, my own chairman of this Republican Party promised to support me, promised to deal with it. Now already he's switching sides. He's going to take money for a few pennies. It was big. If it was big money, I can even understand it. And you know what? I want to debate Simcha Felder. He's going to chicken out. He can't debate me. You know why he can't debate me? Because he's a zero. He's done nothing. I will show him my history. He's going to try to take credit for some of the stuff that I did. I would love to be there. Let's see. You're right. We have to separate church from state. You're allowed to have a politician come in and speak to the residents. You know, in my synagogue, our rabbi is not allowed to come to the board meetings. Why? Because his job is to be the spiritual leader, to lead us, to guide us, to tell us things, to do the right thing, to tell us what he feels, but not to tell us who to vote for. Tell us, oh, you have to go vote for him? Use your brain. He didn't even tell them why. You know, French authorities charged this Telegram founder, Pavel Durov, and it opens up a deeper probe into whether the tech entrepreneur failed to counter the spread of illegal content. He didn't stop anybody from to use their freedom, their rights, especially the Americans, the First Amendment right, the Fifth Amendment right. Now, you're right. When there's porno or child pornography, but that's not his job. Go let the police troll your sites, and when somebody's doing something illegal, they have to stop them. There are special cyber task force for that. You're arresting a guy who, for what? He can't control everything in the hundreds of millions of people. And the reason they went after Telegram and not Facebook, why didn't you go after Facebook? Why don't you go after YouTube? Those guys have terrorists sending messages to each other. Really? Terrorists communicate through Facebook. But again, I'm not interested in the debate between Harris and Trump. We know what Harris stands for, 0, nothing. And I would love to see her talk because I think she's just so stupid. Trump will wipe the floor with her. And she wasn't even a good prosecutor. Everybody knows that. And yeah, Trump is going to make fun of her. And it's just going to be, again, a comedy show like with Biden. I'd like to see J.D. Vance debate, what's his name, Tim Walz, whatever his name is. I don't even want to know what his name is. I'd like to see that debate. I'd like to see each of those guys because I want to see a good vice president. I believe that a president needs a good vice president. I believe every guy who's in business needs a good partner or a good assistant or a good second in command. Without having a good second in the command to voice his stuff in my office, we voice out everything we do. When a job comes in, yes, I do the intake job, and my partner says, no, don't take the job. My workers say it'll never get done. I pass it around, and I still take on the job because I listen to their opinions, and I see if it makes sense or not. And I'm the one who says, hey, I know it's a hard job, but you didn't tell me it was impossible. And even the impossible I get done. That's the beauty of things. So since I'm telling you about the impossible again, Dan, let's do a commercial for my show. Green Line Building Solutions or Compliance, 202 Foster Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, 11230. We do the impossible. I fight the DOB, the DOT, the DOF, and those are organizations that when I get into office, you better watch out. You better watch out. I'm not coming in there to scream, and I'm not going to let you city council members get away with it. Yes, I'll scream and holler. You can sanction me. I'll filibuster you. But 202 Forster Avenue, Green Line Building Compliance, 718-871-0382, 718-871-0382. We help you with plans, permits, stop work orders, vacate orders. Now, my point to you is that the city knows how to stop you. We have a commissioner now that is so petty that even if you get a set of plans to show compliance, he checks it that he won't let you fix the problem. Or he lets you fix it and you have to come back. And each time you do an interview or a plan exam or an inspection, there are months till you get a second one or till they enter it in the system. You come into my office, I enter your proposal right away. I enter your inspection reports the next day. Nothing. Zero. I saw a guy with a car accident. The police came. Nothing we could do about it. I see people vandalizing other people's houses or monuments. We call the police. We show them the videos. Well, nothing we could do about it. So what are you doing, police? I love the police, but what are you doing? You're scared to do your job? Everybody's scared to do their job. I'm not scared. Vice President Kamala Harris is running around with Tim Walz. Yes, I do know the idiot's name. In Georgia, and she's going to go to Pennsylvania. She's going to go to the battleground states. What are you going to tell them? Got you. You have a plan for the future. Your children will be better. The border, whatever. But understand, Miss Harris, you were here for 4 years. You are the number 2 lady to the President of the United States. Everything that you say, he should have listened to. If he didn't listen to you, why should anybody else do? You're going to be president and you don't know what you're doing. You have no foreign policy. Nobody respects you. We're going to be the laughing stock of the world. People say, well, I'm going to move out. I'm not moving anywhere. I'm going to continue my battles. I'm going to continue my fighting. I'm going to continue my life. And I'm not going to let somebody knock me down. I know this great country. I know my rights. They can try to take them away, but I'm going to fight back, and all of you have to fight back. New York City is the leader of the world. We have to show the world we're not scared and not do stupid protests, not attack the police, not go robbing and stealing. We can make this the greatest city. If I was mayor, I would bring in so much new business and lower the taxes. Yeah, we raised the taxes. We put more. I mean, actually, remember this. Not only are there bus cameras now that if you're in the bus lane, they give you a ticket, but you can only make a right turn from the bus lane. So the bus guy pushes the button. If you forget to put your blinker on, or if you put your blinker on and it goes off, you just got a $115 ticket. And how many mistakes like that happen? A noise camera. Really? A noise camera. When you should be having cameras in Queens, there are people that are getting a rape over there or people being attacked. No cameras in the parks. Cameras. Parks should have cameras. That's the way the park should be. Cameras in schools only. Too busy with stupidity. They're building a $12 billion new casino in the Hudson Yards. Now, you're telling me that some guy is coming up with $12 billion. You know that the government or the city or he's getting money from somewhere from one of our institutions. The money's coming from us. A lot of it will. Yeah, he's going to pay back. He's going to create more jobs. I'm not into the casinos. Now, I have no problem. They're opening up. And that's my point to you here. Do your research. If they can make life better. So Amazon, yeah, I want Amazon to come to New York. I know they'll produce $25 billion more in revenue. I know they'll bring in a lot more works, more housing. So I have no problem with Amazon. And I have no problem the way they do business. I personally don't want to do, and I do. I have to buy products through Amazon. And they have a good TV station or something. You know what I mean? We watch movies on Amazon Prime. So I'm not saying all of their services are bad. Some of the services I don't like. I needed a special knife for when I make my fish. So yeah, me the company where it's getting it from, and I was pleased with the price. And the guarantee. Amazon does have a good guarantee. I was telling you in the beginning of the show about a former Nevada politician that was sentenced to life in prison after he was found guilty of stabbing somebody. We're looking to get people in trouble. You're right, he was a corrupt politician. He was cheating on his wife. I have no issues that you went and outed him. And I have a problem that the guy killed him, but he got 20 years only and then parole. Anybody else would get much more than that. I know people sitting 40 years trying to defend themselves. I know fathers that went after the people who killed their children. I don't know. Here's what bothers me the most. January 6th, somebody was sentenced to 17 years in jail for going into the Capitol. Lady now, a grandmother, was sentenced now to an ankle bracelet for 6 months for going into the Capitol. Same thing that he did. And she went to pray. Now, I agree, she shouldn't have gotten more time than it. It's stupid to even gotten any time. What was the difference between one than the other? Maybe one did a little bit more damage. I don't remember reading about any major damages anywhere in the Capitol. Anywhere. Nothing was damaged. Nothing was neglected. Nothing was ruined. Yeah, they ran around. They made themselves crazy. What is the difference between the grandmother and that? January 6th, I can't wait for President Trump to come in there and pardon everybody. That will be like the biggest laugh and joke in the world. That will be the greatest thing on the planet. It would be retribution, vindication. The Democrats think they run this country. And I was a lifelong Democrat. And now I'm a Republican, but I don't want to be a Republican anymore. They're just as corrupt. They're just the same game. But if you're not part of the Republican Party, you're not part of the Democratic Party, you have an idiot like Steinwetzel, Rabbi, who tells you what to do. God forbid you're an independent, but my election will be an independent election. I don't know which party. I'm going to have to be part of the Democratic Party, I guess, because that's the party that controls, and I want to get a good seat there. But I'm going to fight the system. We have to make changes. I think there should be no parties anymore. Everybody should be independent. Everybody should be independent. And the speaker should be constantly be reelected. Not talking reelected every on a term, but like in the United Nations, we have a different country presidents every couple of months. Same way here. New leaders with new ideas, new votes, constantly. Don't let one guy sitting as the speaker saying, "Hey, I'm going to give you more money if you join my coalition," and that councilman who doesn't agree with my opinions is going to get less money. That's the way it works in the city council. It really does. And I'm learning this corruption. I'm learning these games. Politics is a dirty business. And everybody says, well, we can't do nothing about it. Why not? Why not clean it up? Why not put in different people? Why do you need the left and woke attitude? Why do you need it? I remember when I heard that word woke, I laughed. It's now serious. Stupid. The left getting away with stuff that you never heard before. And it's not only just, it's the Jewish people too. You know, I want to tell you a story that I heard from a rabbi, and I don't know if it will inspire you or not. He was a cousin of mine, and I planned using this speech at one of my speaking events and on my holiday weekend. There was a guy. He was born in Germany, young boy. He and his mother raised him, and he asked him, "Where's my father?" When he got older, she says, "Well, you have no father. The father left, and I just had you." And that was the end of it. And she raised him, and he finished high school. He was a good kid in Germany. He was born in the 40s and the 50s and the 60s. He went to high school. He went to college, and he took a history course, and one of the courses was about the Holocaust. And he started to do his research about the Holocaust. And he started to learn about the Jewish people. He went to Israel. He went to the Yad Vashem, the big museum, and he just felt something about the Jewish people. And he decided that he wanted to be a Jew, and he converted, a German, born in the times of the Nazis. He converted to be a Jew, became a super religious Jew. And he married another convert, and they got two beautiful babies. And his mother didn't have a problem with him being a Jew. Had no problem. Finally, one day, she calls her up. She says, Abraham, that was his new name when he became a Jew. She says, Abraham, I want to tell you something. I lied to you. You did have a father. And your father was a bad man. He was an SS trooper. He killed a lot of people. He killed Jews. And he was put in prison for life. And he's dying now. And he wants to see you. He tells his mother, no, are you crazy? Really? Why didn't you tell me this? He was angry with his mother. You got to come home and see him. He says, no, I don't want to. He says, you got to come. Do me a favor, come and see him. It'll be good for you to understand where you came from. He says, I'm a Jew now. He says, just come. He gets on a plane. He brings his family to Germany. He gets to visit his mother, and his mother takes him to the prison. And they take him in to see his father. And his father's sitting there, this old man ready to die. And his father says, thank you for coming. And the boy stops. He starts to screaming, you are a murderer, a Nazi. I can't believe what you did. I can't believe I come from your body. And he screams at him. He says, you know what? I have one question for you. Just one question. What did you do good in your life to deserve two beautiful grandchildren that are born Jews? From your loins, me. Now we have full Jewish children. What did you do so good to have somebody from a good family and a good nation? And he was silent. And the father sat there. He says, I'm going to tell you. He says, I know the answer to this. He says, I was an SS officer, and we did kill a lot of Jews. And in one particular town, we rounded up the Jews. And we put them in the town square, and we killed them all. And right before we left the town, the commander says, go look around in different areas to see if there's any hidden Jews. And I was sent to a particular barn at the end of the town. When I got to the town, to the barn, I heard a little noise in the haystacks. And I saw 4 eyes, little eyes. I walked over there, and I saw 2 little children, a boy and a girl. My job was to kill them. I turned around, I walked out, and I kept walking, and I walked away from being a soldier. God rewarded me, I guess, for saving 2 lives. Now, here's my point to all of you now, your whole world, the whole listening world. If God, and I believe in God, or karma, or whatever the hell you want to believe in, if God was able to reward this Nazi murderer criminal with beautiful grandchildren, give him something special, just imagine what rewards God will give you for doing good, for helping your neighbor, bringing them milk, crossing the street, feeding them, doing good for others, and knowingly do it. Just imagine the reward. I know you think that the story I told you is fake. It's a true story written in a book, and I heard it directly from the rabbi. There is a God. There is karma in this world. You do get rewards for doing good. I see it all the time in me. Yes, I don't know why I got punished in my life. I don't know what I did to deserve to get tricked or going to jail, whatever my story is. I learned from it. Not that it was a failure or punishment. I learned to be better. I got so much more rewards because when I was there, I was able to do more stuff that I didn't know I was capable of doing. Anyways, I just pitch that to you because I want you to do good. Time is coming. Get out there and vote. Don't listen to other people's opinions. You are smart. You are fathers. You are mothers. You are teachers. You are leaders, all of you. And you're so busy with the future. Be busy with now. I was telling you at the beginning of the show, when my oldest son was born, I was nervous. I know for the next 20 years I have to raise him. My second son, I said, oh God, where am I going to get the money and the time and the job and the working and the teaching and the schools? And when things were going well, I had another one, Yaakov, my last one, and all those other ones that came through the house. But I said, oh my God, I'm 37. I don't know how I'm going to marry him off. I'm going to be 67. I don't know. Right now I'm 60 and he's 24, so I must have been younger. But the point that I'm trying to make to you is that I wasn't worried so much about the future. I was worried on how I would make it to the future. But I had to wake up every day. I had to go work. I had to go to their schools. I worried about today. I worried about now. I'm worrying about the wedding. I'm worrying about preparing the food. I'm worrying about setting up, putting away the money for the future. But I need to figure out a way to do it today without hurting today. Today is the day we make the change. We're going to put up one more commercial for HeshyTishler.com. And I want all of you in YouTube and Facebook land, I need, theoretically, another 10 donations. That's it, $10, $25. I'd like to use your credit card and the same addresses. And it's HeshyTishler.com, HeshyTishler.com. I'm going to win this one. I'm going to knock it out of the park. I'm guaranteeing you this one. Come back to me in January when the mayor announces this election. He has Andrew Cuomo going up against him, so he's going to be too busy to mix into this special election, I hope. I hope he has some brains to stay away from it, not these do-nothing anybody's. HeshyTishler.com. You could email me. I wish the producer would put it on the screen, but I guess he forgot. He's sleeping or picking up some kind of call, whatever it is. And, we're so busy with protesting Gaza. We're so busy protesting, and thank you, the Jewish Beat. The Jewish Beat says they know I'm going to do it. Well, thank you. But they're so busy protesting Palestinians. Why aren't you protesting the Ukrainian-Russian war? Now the Ukrainians have gone into and taken over. What is it? They've captured territory in the Russian area. Ukrainian troops are fighting back, but they're killing and also raping. You know what they're doing. Just like the Russian troops are doing. Nobody has protested that war. Nobody. People are dying. People are being murdered. While the Jewish people, the Jewish soldiers, Israel, sends out texts to all the Palestinians to get out of a neighborhood, or tells them we're going to bomb that school, or tells them that the Hamas is over there to go away. We're warning you. We're running a war that we care about the people. These Palestinian protesters say 200,000 people or 2 million dead. There's not. Total of 40,000 people on the Palestinian side died. That's too many. But 15,000 of them were terrorists. Terrorists that took hostages into their homes, made them slaves, raped them, and killed them. Do that in New York City. Come to my neighborhood. You won't get away with it, that I promise you. What else do I got to talk about? I got a lot more to go. But the one thing that I'd like to end the show with, that we're going to be ending in a few minutes, our live radio audience, don't wear your mask. It's illegal. If you see somebody wearing a mask, call 311. Get them out there. I don't agree with masks anymore, especially if you're sick, go wear a mask. If you're sick, you shouldn't be going out. You shouldn't be going to the wedding if you're wearing a mask. There's a few hundred people there. Don't go. Don't go out of your house if you're that stupid. Or go out at certain times. Masks are illegal. Thank you for listening to my show, WSNR 620 AM, WNEW FM 93.5, and WPVID down in Florida. For the rest of you that are staying with me for a few moments, I'd like to close the show with some simple words. Simple, how do I say it? Philosophy. My epiphany. I am so proud to have made it to 60 years old. My father passed away when he was 60. And I thought also many times that, not that I wasn't healthy, I was always healthy, and I'm so happy that I lost the weight, but I'm so happy I made it to my son's wedding. I'm so happy I was able to raise those children. Everybody's looking forward. Of course, I look forward to a better world. But I look back at what it was and what we've created, what each day we came through, how our internet gets better, how our technology gets better, how we help others. But sometimes we still see people sleeping on the streets. We still see homelessness. We see people running wild in Venezuela, gangs taking over apartment buildings. Now you're going to say, oh, Heshy, well, that's not New York City. Well, babies, come with me to the Bronx. There are 10 square blocks controlled by gang members where the police are scared to walk in. New York City. With 45,000 cops, we cannot control some gang members in the Bronx. What weapons could they possibly have more than our police? And every once in a while, we go arrest them. You know what the mayor was busy with this week? He was busy with burning, I think, was it $4 million? What was it? Of marijuana, illegal marijuana. Now, why isn't everybody licensed? Why does that marijuana become illegal? Because they're not licensed? You're able to sell cigarettes in every store. All you have to do is apply for a license. Everybody gets approved on it. People are able to sell lotto tickets. That's gambling tickets. Let everybody sell marijuana. It'll be cheaper. Why are you pushing the price up even though I'm against marijuana sales completely? I'm against using marijuana at all, and I have clients that sell it. I personally don't want to do it. I'm not a drinker, but I do have alcohol, and I will be serving alcohol at the wedding and at the event. Yes, I know people want it. But then license everybody. Everybody who's qualified, who has money, who has a store, let them license. You're taking them away from stores that sell it. That means those stores have businesses. Those stores have licenses. Those stores have bank accounts. So why can't they apply for a license? Because they're not qualified. They're not illegal. They don't know about it. You're making us do illegal stuff. Everybody should have the right to sell marijuana. Simple and plain. You should be able to go into a place, get a 65, just like everybody's allowed to drive a car. Give them a license. Let them sell the marijuana and let them sell it in the rightful way that they tax. What difference than one marijuana than the other marijuana? Yes, make sure that all the marijuana comes in, that you send out health inspectors like you send them out to all the restaurants. Anybody can open up a restaurant. You get a license, you take a course, boom, boom, boom. You're able to open up a restaurant. Health inspector comes in and checks the thing. Let health inspectors go in and check the marijuana to make sure it's not laced with fentanyl and other drugs. That's it. You'll make more money. Common sense. Instead, we're looking to knock down the others, make one guy richer than the other, let them get bribed. And if you think Steinwurzel Synagogue is the only one, there's many others like that are getting money on the side. This JCC organization that we have in Borough Park, that Mr. Friedlander, who does nothing for free, this lobbyist, he supports Iran. He supports Turkey. Those are murderous states. Those are terrorist states. He makes a few pennies. How much could he make? A couple of $100,000, and he supports their murderous states. Maybe he doesn't support their ideology of murder, but he's helping them. Would you actually help a rapist? Would you actually help a murderer? Yes, I go to jail. I help feed and volunteer, but they're under restraint. Iran and Turkey is not. And here's a guy who wants more money. The last time JCC ran an event in my neighborhood, the total event costed them a total of $76,000 or $79,000. They got $250,000 or $280,000. I asked where the rest of the money was, and you know what they told me? By the way, I did give a shout out to the Jewish Beat, and before we end the show, I want to just tell you, we have another few seconds, that the JCC said, well, we need money for our workers, we need money for our volunteers, we need money to do advertising. I understand. You're an organization that you're getting money from the government to operate on a daily basis. You have your budget. What more money do you need? This event should be just part of your daily operations, daily helpful stuff. Instead, you suck and you take, and somebody else got that money. Somebody higher up is driving a better car or a better Cadillac. Then don't volunteer and don't work in the JCC. I'm very upset with them, and that's another organization I'll be coming after. But let me just tell you, nursing homes, before I end the show, let me tell you, hospitals, you're going to get it. I'm going to come after you. I'm going to punish you for the murders that you did. No, they didn't just die. You murdered them. You didn't let the relatives come in. They said 2.5 million people were going to die in that year of COVID. Not even 600,000, and most of them were from pneumonia and the flu. And you're still pushing that stupid fake COVID shot. Thank you for listening to my show, everybody. Thank you for joining in. I'm going to give you an update next Wednesday on how my dinner party went with my guest. And, of course, Wednesday is the night before the wedding, so I'm going to remind all of you where the wedding is. Come, don't come, don't come. We're going to have a great party. I'm going to have a great time, and it's going to be something that I'm so happy that I made it in this part of my life, and I'm so happy that I'll be able to get onto to my white horse with Linda. By the way, everybody, Linda fell down and hurt herself, and she's recuperating. I'm hoping she's able to walk down the aisle with me. No, I didn't push her or beat her up. Somebody saw us in the supermarket. Oh, Heshy, you hit Linda. It was like, of course, the first thing that comes out of the mouth is something bad about me. Watch my show, everybody. The wedding is in Long Island in the sand. Posting it on my websites, my Instagram, my WhatsApps. So I love you all. Thank you. Come back next week again. And thank you for joining me and listening to me rant and rave. And everybody, I'm not going to be like anybody. I am voting for Trump. I believe Trump is the right candidate. I believe he has a history. Do I want you to vote for Trump? Yes. I'm not forcing you to. It's your right to decide.